Hello guys, and welcome to Thought Well by Unacademy, and welcome to today's session where we would be unlocking the demand of your ICSE board when it comes to your 10th board exams. All right, in our previous session we did come across what the board would actually be wanting of its students when it comes to English literature, but today we are going to be having an overview when it comes to all, or rather most, of your subjects in your 10th board exam. All right, so let's get started. Before we go into unlocking what is the demand of ICSE when it comes to its students, let's see what ICSE on its official website says about how its students would benefit from what they do set as a curriculum. Alright, so by trying to understand what the benefits of ICSE is that is said by ICSE, we might try to understand what is it that ICSE does expect of its students. So the benefits of ICSE, the ICSE syllabi, mind you, language alert here, the plural of syllabus is syllabi. Alright, the ICSE syllabi has a detailed and comprehensive syllabus with due emphasis on English. Alright, with due emphasis on English as the medium of instruction, giving it an advantage that helps students clear entrance examinations like IELTS, TOEFL and SAT, etc. Useful, definitely. Students learn to solve different types of questions like direct, application-based, sounds familiar, analytical, etc., which results in the students understanding the concepts in a comprehensive manner. Guys, this is why they did increase your percentage of your competency-based questions as well. So what you do gain out of what ICSE says you students gain out of is they do ask direct, application-based, analytical questions, and y'all are supposed to gain an understanding of the concepts in a comprehensive manner. All right, so that would be trick number 1. Next, the assessment and evaluation methods examine and assess a student's inherent abilities and aptitude with an encouragement to an original flow of thoughts and ideas. This is, okay, reading it out properly for y'all, original flow of thoughts and ideas. All right, so this is why I have always repeated asking y'all not to mug but understand. I have repeated this time and over again, and this is your trick number 2. All right, sorry, this is your trick number 2, where you do have to develop an original flow of thoughts and ideas. See, y'all do get the tricks when y'all talk about the benefits of ICSE that is quoted by your board itself. All right, so remember guys, you do have direct, application-based, analytical questions, and you do have to develop an understanding of the concepts in a comprehensive manner. So understand, do not mug. All right, and y'all do have to develop an original flow of thought and ideas, be it when it comes to literature or your other subjects. Let's move forward. The subjects of the examinations, most students lack a clarity when it comes to the grouping of the subjects in their ICSE exam, even though they might have completed their midterm. So let's just have an overview of this. So the subjects in the exam, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be visible to y'all, but I will read it out for y'all. So the subjects of the examinations, you have group 1, in which you have English. That includes your English language and English literature. You have a second language that would be one of the Indian languages, that would be Hindi or whatever y'all have opted for. And you do have HCG, that is history, civics and geography. And you then have group 2. Guys, mind you, I'm just writing it here. In group 1, that is compulsory, you have English, that would include paper 1 and paper 2. And you have your second language, that would be Hindi or any other Indian language that you have chosen, and you have history, civics and geography. So these 3 would make your group 1. All right, speaking of your group 2 and speaking of the marks in your group 1, you do have 80 marks, that is of your external exam. That is what you would be writing in your examination hall, and you have 20 marks, that is of your internal assessment, IA. Okay, I've just put a short form. And you then have group 2, that would have either 2 or 3 of the following subjects, but mostly it is the general norm that most of the schools follow, that is math and science. So you have mathematics, again, with the proportion of 80% of your external exam and 20% of your internal assessment. And you have science, that is physics, chemistry, and biology. All right. So this would be your group 1. And under group 2, you have math and you have science. That would be your physics, chem, and bio. All right. So these 3 each would have, again, 80% of your external exam and 20% of your internal assessment. All right. So these are what would comprise of your group 2. I'm just writing G2. And then you have group 3, guys, and here it gets a little selective for y'all. Depending on the options your school has given y'all, you would either have, you know, computer applications and or commercial applications, these 2 being the most common optional subjects chosen under this group. And there are other subjects like economic applications, performing arts, etc., that are not very conventional when it comes to the ICSE schools choosing other subjects when it comes to your group 3. So your computer or commercial applications or any other subject that comes under your group 3, here the marking would be, I'm just writing it here, let's say it's your computer or commercial applications. Here the marking is kind of different, guys, because you have 50% of your external examination and 50% of your internals. All right, so it isn't like the other sharing of marks when it comes to your other group 1 and group 2 subjects where you have 80 and 20. Here you have 50 that is written in theory and 50 that is internal. All right, so lucky for you guys. So that is it when it comes to the group 1, 2, and 3. Subject-wise syllabus and demand. Now when I talk about demand, I'm talking about the demand of ICSE. I'm pretty sure most of y'all wouldn't have gone through this or even, you know, come across what the board has actually said. I'm pretty sure most of y'all wouldn't have come across this demand of the board, or this instruction rather of your board, when it comes to your individual subjects and what it actually looks at bringing out of its students, or what it actually looks forward to see in those answer scripts of its students. All right, so in English you do have to develop and integrate the use of the 4 language skills. I hope you'll remember I did mention this in the previous video where I was talking about English literature. It does expect you to develop and integrate the use of the 4 language skills, namely listening, speaking, reading, and writing, for the purpose of effective communication. All right, and you have to develop a functional understanding of the grammar, structure, and idiom of the language, that is your English language, speaking of here. To develop the capacity to read efficiently and access information effectively, and that is why they give you your comprehension as well, to access information effectively, and you get tested there, right? To develop an appreciation of good literature, hence you have William Shakespeare, one of the famous authors in history. To experience through literature the thoughts and feelings of the people of the world. Okay, so this, they're trying to help you culminate an understanding and development of you know, an understanding of how people feel and understand things around the world. So hence they do ask you to critically analyze, or they do ask you for your opinion of a particular instance, or that is why they go so much in depth into, you know, your literature. So that is what it demands when it comes to your English. Your English language, guys, I'm pretty sure you can't read and just looks like a lot of content dumped, but I will just read out like a few important points. So speaking of your English language, it says all questions will be compulsory. Question 1, candidates will be required to write a composition of around 300 to 350 words from a choice of subjects, which will test the ability to organize. Guys, I will leave the link of this in the description box, and y'all should go and visit this and read this for yourselves, for y'all to gain an understanding of what it is that the board expects of y'all, because that is how y'all are going to be able to deliver it on your answer scripts. All right, so to be able to organize, describe, narrate, report, explain, persuade or argue present ideas with accuracy and precision, compare and contrast ideas and arrive at conclusions with relevant arguments, and use correct style and format. So this is like comprehension. I'm pretty sure your teachers would have told you all this as well. Again, this question 2 talks about letter writing, getting the format right. Question 4 again talks about an unseen prose passage of about 500 words. That's your comprehension. That is where you will have to show your skills of how you do analyze and effectively understand information that is presented to you. All right, so that is what it is when it comes to your English language. And when it comes to your English literature, we did see this in the previous video, but nevertheless, literature in English paper would be for 2 hours, and the candidates will be required to answer questions based on the prescribed textbooks. For all of y'all who had doubts regarding which guide, which book to take, and which other books y'all wanted suggestions for when it came to English literature or any of your other subjects as well, guys, the instruction cannot get clearer. Candidates will be required to answer questions based on the prescribed textbooks. This is what I always say. Do not go after other books in the market, because what your board is prescribed is what you need. That all you have is all you need. All right, so prescribed textbooks is what you all should go by, which include drama, prose, and poetry. All right. When it comes to your drama and prose, question set will be central to the text, like I told you all, and hence you cannot escape reading the text. You cannot escape reading the drama. You cannot escape reading your prose or your poems, because questions will be set central to the text. All right. Candidates will be required to show that they have understood the passage and are able to clearly respond in their own words. Again, guys, no mugging. All right. Excerpts may be given from the drama and prose text leading to questions. Excerpts are nothing but passages. All right. So this is what they mean by it. When it comes to your poetry, a poem or lines from poems will be given, and the questions will be set to test the candidate's response. The questions will focus on the content, understanding, and the personal response. Hence, develop an understanding and opinion of your own. The questions will focus on the content, understanding, and the personal response of candidates to the entire poem as a whole. And this is why I told you, when your examiner looks at your answer script, he or she is going to know if you have or have not understood the drama or the prose or the poem. Guys, read the text. All right. And yeah, this would be your syllabus, where you do have the acts of Julius Caesar. That's act number 3, 4, and 5. You do have a treasure chest, where you have 5 short stories and you have 5 poems on the whole. So that would be English literature for y'all. Moving forward, you have history, civics, and geography. Again, looking at the demand of the board when it comes to history, civics, and geography. Candidates offering, okay, this does not apply to you all, the Thailand thing. All right, ICSE does go international as well. All right, so when it comes to history, civics, and geography, it aims to provide an understanding of the working of the Indian government, that is the working of the parliament and the legislature, the executive and the judiciary, necessary for the students to grow into responsible, enlightened citizens. Better, guys, come on, y'all should and y'all will. Enlightened citizens in a secular democracy. To enrich the understanding of those aspects of Indian historical developments which are crucial for the understanding of contemporary India, to know how and why we are at the place we are right now, speaking of our country. All right. To awaken a desirable understanding in pupils of various streams which have contributed to the development and growth of the Indian nation and its civilization and culture. To develop a world historical perspective of the contributions made by various cultures to the total heritage of mankind. Most of y'all would find this boring right now, but trust me, just spare a few minutes, understand this, because this is what is going to help you gain those marks as well. When you gain an understanding of what exactly it is that the board is expecting out of you, you would be able to deliver it in a better way on your answer scripts. All right, so that is what it is when it comes to your history, civics, and geography. This again is the syllabus. I'm just going to read out the chapters. In civics, you have the union legislature, you have the judiciary, and you have the executive, the union executive. And in history, you have the Indian national movement, you have the mass phase of national movement, you have the contemporary world that come under world history, and your internal assessments that would be best for your schools to explain. Coming to geography, there will be one paper of 2 hours duration carrying 80 marks. Candidates will be expected to make the fullest use of sketches, diagrams, graphs, and charts in their answers. Question sets may require answers involving the interpretation of photographs of geographical interest. They might give you a photograph of something that is pertaining to what you all have studied in your subject, and they might expect you to identify it and write something about it depending on the question. And part one, of course, you do have map work when it comes to the interpretation of your topographical maps, where you do have to locate features with the help of a 4-figure or a 6-figure grid reference. I'm pretty sure you all would have come across the topographical sheets. Definition of a contour and contour interval, interpretation of color tints, identification and definition of types of scale given on a map, measuring distances and calculating area using scale. So I'm pretty sure y'all do have an idea of this, but nevertheless do go through it. And y'all have the map of India. On an outline map of India, candidates will be required to locate, mark, and name the following. That would be mountains, peaks, plateaus, and they have also mentioned the names of the mountains, peaks, and plateaus, guys. They've been kind when it comes to this, and the plains, and they mentioned the names of the plains as well. The desert, the rivers, the latitude and longitudes, that's the easiest when it comes to geography. Water bodies, direction of winds, distribution of minerals, soil distribution, etc., population, cities, etc. All right, so that is what it is when it comes to geography. And of course, you do have part 2, which is the location and extent of physical features. You have chapters of climate, soil resources, natural vegetation, water resources, waste management, transport, agriculture, etc. All right, so that is what it is when it comes to geography. Mathematics, okay, I don't really have the courage to comment on this, but Shivanshu sir is best for that, but I will tell you all what the board aims to get out of you all. But yeah, mathematics, it aims to get its student to acquire knowledge and understanding of the terms, symbols, concepts, principles, processes, proofs, etc. of mathematics. Scary for me. To develop an understanding of mathematical concepts and their application to further studies in mathematics and science. Y'all do know most of your further studies, if y'all are delving into science, is going to have to do with math. To develop skills to apply mathematical knowledge to solve real life problems. I bet y'all do that. To develop the necessary skills to work with modern technological devices such as calculator and computers in real life situations. Strange they didn't mention phones. To develop drawing skills, skills of reading, tables, charts, graphs, and interpreting, I'm sure. To develop an interest in mathematics, which I unfortunately couldn't develop. Doesn't mean you all don't, guys, it's just like interest. Next we come to science, that your first subject under science, which is physics. Most of y'all get scared of physics. I don't know why. It's interesting. Like, I didn't find physics stuff. Okay, sorry, why am I making this about myself? Science, physics, all right. So physics would be your paper number 1 when it comes under science, and what they expect you to develop is knowledge and understanding of the terms, facts, concepts, definitions, laws, principles, and processes of physics. To develop skills in practical aspects of handling apparatus, I think that would come under your practicals. To develop instrumental communication, deductive and problem solving skills, to discover that there is a living and growing physics relevant to the modern age in which we live. Of course, Newton did not leave us any choice but to relate to that with modern age. Paper number 2 under science would be chemistry. Again, what the board aims to make you acquire is the knowledge of terms, concepts, processes, techniques and principles related to the subject. To develop the ability to apply the knowledge of contents, principles of chemistry in unfamiliar situations, acquire skills in proper handling of apparatus. Again, that would be your practicals. To develop scientific temper, attitude and problem solving skills. To recognize chemical science as having an important impact on the environment, relating to cycles in nature, natural resources. This is an important point, guys. Like, if you all are venturing into the science of field, and if you have to look at the recent developments that have taken place in the field of science, I mean, like in most of the branches of science, but chemistry as well, it is phenomenal. So that is true. Science, the third paper, biology. I hope you all know why I'm smiling. I teach all this, guys. Biology, that would be a paper 3 under science, aims to make you all acquire the knowledge of economic importance of plants and animals, develop an understanding of interrelationship between sustainability and environmental adaptations, to develop an understanding of the interdependence of plants and animals so as to enable pupils to, guys, it's not the pupils in the eyes. I mean, I'm pretty sure you all know, just lame, sorry. Pupil students, all right, to acquire a clearer comprehension of the significance of life and its importance in human welfare, to understand the capacities and limitations of all biological and economic activities so as to be able to use them for a better quality of life. To, like, biotechnology, if you all understand, if not, like, y'all can look it up, to acquire the ability to observe, experiment, hypothesize, infer, handle equipment accurately and make correct recordings. Again, this would be your practicals. That's very, very interesting, unless you have to dissect a frog. All right, so those would be your 3 papers for biology, guys. And then when it comes to your group 3, like I said, I'm not going to go into the details of it because it is optional, and students do have various subjects that they have chosen, but mainly it is computer and commercial applications that is like that are the 2 conventional subjects that are chosen under group 3. And of course, you have the second language, which I haven't mentioned again. And guys, one thing that y'all should know, but do not take it to your advantage. I'm pretty sure most of y'all do know it, but just reminding y'all, the pass marks for each subject would be 33%. All right, so do not keep this as a benchmark, guys. Of course not. And you would only be awarded a pass certificate if you pass first in English, you fail in English, and you fail ICSE. If you pass in English plus 5 other subjects. All right, so it's 6 subjects that you do have to pass in. So it is English plus 5. And after the results are declared, you do just get a pass certificate. Just stick to what the board expects of y'all. Start working hard. Concentrate on what the board expects of y'all. Do not go after what people say around. There are a lot of people who make predictions of the difficulty level of the upcoming board exams. Guys, nobody can predict whether the exam is going to be easy or no, but one thing that you can definitely predict according to your preparation is whether you are going to be able to do well or not. All right, it is not tough. This exam is very easy, and it is very easy for y'all to crack it. Even if you haven't started, even if you haven't finished the syllabus, start now and y'all can get a decent score. But start now and y'all would have to give a minimum of 4 to 5 hours a day, guys. Come on, the exam is just approaching. Y'all are going to be crossing the first milestone of your life. I do think it does deserve this attention of yours, guys. Everything else can wait for now, all right? So first things first, do this. Be confident, do not stress, and we are here to help you all in any way. And I will see you all in my next video where we will be uncovering more secrets of the board this way. Until then, revise, have responsible fun. Like I always say, believe in yourself and study now, guys. Few more months left, and trust me, y'all sit down now and study, avoiding all those distractions. You will definitely feel good about yourself when those results come out, all right? So follow what I say. Just stick to the prescribed books, read your drama, read your poem, read your troves, and understand the concepts of all the subjects, and y'all will be good to go. Okay, so best of luck, study, take care, and let's crack it.